In effect, we're here.
I find it very, very strange with this platform that we are using. Like every time it's like a surprise.
Yeah.
Hopefully a good surprise.
Yeah.
We are seeing us. But it's also a surprise for us, isn't it?
Indeed. Indeed, yes.
Are we live? We are live. Yes.
We are absolutely live, Evie, and thank you for getting that sorted. And for anyone that's watching, this is us on a weekly basis. We have this like moment, I don't even know what to call it, but anyway, it's all very joyful and it's all good. And we're here. And we're bringing you the Mythbusting series. We're going to continue with some of the phrases that we use in our daily language that really say a lot about what's going on internally. And looking at becoming aware of the language. And it's always interesting, isn't it? It always takes me back to that little rhyme we used to say at school: sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me, which is a bit of a lie, really, because actually words are so powerful. And those words that we utilize that can often keep us caged without us even noticing it. So for me, the Mythbusting series is really about raising awareness. Let's be aware of the things that we're saying to ourselves, as well as maybe to others, and then really look at how we can do better, how we can use much more supportive and empowering language on our journey through life, so that we can feel that sense of confidence to go and do the brilliant things that we're here to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the whole
So what have we got?
What we've got? Well, it's the overthinking loop that we are working with today. And the first phrase, I think all of us are quite familiar with it, especially when we are creators. I need to figure it all out first. What a beef. I have not figured out how this platform works, but yet we are here and we are live. So let's see.
Absolutely.
I think that if we had to figure this all out, I think, Yvonne, we wouldn't be live till about 2030. So yeah, not working like this.
Yeah, it's so true. And I mean, this is definitely a phrase that the restless within me has used. I need to figure it all out first. I need to figure it all. But instead of figuring it out anyway, the restless will take me off and do something else anyway, regardless, right? So it is a phrase I am very familiar with myself. I have used it more times than I can even begin to think about, literally. And fortunately, I know for me, I've been able to let go of that. That is not something that I work from. Now I'm all about, I would rather explore, be curious, have a go, etc., and figure it out as I go, and not feel that I need to know everything before I can actually do anything. And like you said, doing the live streams, from the time we started doing live streams, although we've changed platforms, if you or I had sat back and tried to understand every little nuance and every little thing that we could and couldn't do, we'd still be there now, figuring out. But instead, what we've done is let's just jump in and see, and let's figure it out as we go. And, here we are a year on doing these lives, loving them, having some great feedback and interactions. And it just goes to show that, one, there is no need to have everything lined up. And I'm not going to say it's not nice. If you've got it sussed out, great. But you know what? Here's the other part of that, is sometimes you may think, I need to figure it all out first. And let's just say, even if you've taken the time to figure it all out first, what if the people that you are delivering that to it doesn't land with them. It doesn't sit with them. It doesn't mean anything to them. What exactly is it that you figured out? So you've got to be asking yourselves all the time, what is it that I'm trying to figure out? And surely by letting go of that myth and instead saying, I just want to be really, there's something that I want to do or something I want to deliver, something I want to present. Let me just do that with a sense of curiosity to see if it even lands the way that I'm hoping it will. And let's see what people say or what feedback I get. Let me see how that feels for me, even if you want to take other people out of the equation. And then start tweaking and doing whatever you need to do. But that figuring it out first is such a brain drain. And I know for me, when I've got myself into that situation, it has been exhausting.
Absolutely. And you know, the truth behind this type of like take is that you are scared. It's nothing else. It's fear that keeps you like not wanting to move ahead. And the fear, we have touched on that in various myth busting series, like parts of the series that we've done, but like that sense of like, oh, you know what, I'm exposing myself, so it needs to be perfect. And it doesn't matter. And you know, when I realized the most about this, I've been in this field for like over 20 years, yet I see gurus that they are talking about being in the space, and we're talking about big names that they've been in the space for like 10 years. And they've been in the space for like 5 years. And they're doing great and good for them because they took action the moment they started feeling the pull.
Yes.
And that is how we need to approach anything that we do. Don't worry about figuring everything out, because if you are, you're going to be what? The biggest, most wonderful secret of the world. And nobody will know about you. And that is not what you want. We all have something to share. We all have something to talk about. And something that even one person might benefit from. So yeah, please don't wait to figure everything out. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and I always love to refer this to, you know, when I look at big companies, and I'm glad that you brought up about the, you know, the gurus, whatever they want to call themselves, it's by the by. But yes, you know, I've been doing this thing for like 5 minutes but they've put themselves out there. They're just like, well, I'm going with the flow and let's just see what happens. So I will always say kudos to you. Whether you like it or not is by the by. It's just that they've stuff fear, I'm jumping in. That's what they've done. Where, you know, then there'll be some of us, and my good self included, like, oh yeah, but let me just make sure that I refine this and let me just fine tune this and you know, and then all we're really doing is pushing what we're meant to be delivering further away. We're literally pushing it out there for the someday thing. And it also reminds me though of the big companies who, and in this life and world that we live in now, where there's an app for just about everything, you know, they create apps. Are the apps perfect when they take them to market? No. Not usually. Not usually. But they don't sit back and think, oh my gosh, we should have waited until it was all perfect and, you know, we should have figured everything out first. It's like, no, let's put it out there and see what people tell us. Because when people tell us that there's something wrong or there's a bug or there's a blah blah, then we'll go fix it. And I really do feel like we there's some of that we need to be able to take on board. There's some of that we need to be able to put into practice, where stop beating yourself up, stop desiring this kind of polished, glossy finish on everything before you take it out into the world. All that time that you're glossing and polishing, somebody who really needed, as you said, Evie, to hear what you have to offer, what you say, that it may have even just been a word, a sentence, a phrase, they've missed it. It's gone because you didn't deliver it. You were too busy polishing. And interestingly, somebody said to me the other day, oh, you know, and it did make me laugh because they'd said to me, oh, you're so polished in your delivery. I'm like, oh my goodness, of all the things that I am, polished is definitely not one of them.
But you see, this is the thing, is what is our perception in the things that we do, and what is the perception of others? And why wouldn't we want to have that input in whatever we do? Whether it is good or bad, at the end of the day, it is important because we are co-creating anyway. Whatever we put out there, if it has the 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 language of the people that really enjoy listening to us or understand the value that we give, it becomes even more valuable for them. So,
Yes.
yeah, stop being too polished. I mean, we all talk about what authenticity. What is authenticity?
Exactly.
It's actually showing your colors, your true colors to the world.
Yeah.
And, okay, that's what it is.
Yeah.
We are who we are, and we attract the right people at the right time, and that's that. So we don't, I mean, I don't think that this applies only to our businesses or our
God
work.
grief.
It is
Everything.
also, like I'll open my home when it is completely ready or whatever. And what are you missing out then? You're missing out the connections, you're missing out the laughter and the friends coming
Yes.
and creating, proper memories and stuff because
Yeah.
you were waiting for something to be perfect. I mean, what is perfect? Nothing is
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. And it's such a trap figuring it all out first. I mean, you go back to like the invention or creation of the light bulb. How many times did that have to happen before it actually did what it was meant to do? How many times did the twin brothers have to fly planes until they got the plane to actually fly? They did not figure it out first. They just jumped in and experimented and gave themselves permission to experiment and explore. And that freedom is, I believe, what got them to their end conclusion. So why don't we do the same for ourselves? Why don't we cut ourselves some slack and just give ourselves permission to be curious and just do it anyway? Do it anyway.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, because someone will say, yeah, but if I do that, and haters gonna hate and blah blah. Haters are gonna hate anyway. So if you want to spend the rest of your life worrying about that, that's a whole other conversation and piece. But at the same time, understand and realize that those who what you are doing is for, whatever that is, or those connections that really matter to you, they will materialize. But they cannot materialize if you're the best kept secret and no one even knows that you exist. And we're not here to be small.
No, none of us should be here to be small. And the thing is that the more you do the uncomfortable thing, the more it becomes your evidence that you can do the uncomfortable thing. And that's all you want. You want more and more evidence for yourself that you can do whatever you set out to do, even if you're not ready, even if you're not perfect, even if you're not completely polished. So go for it.
Take one step. In fact, that's the rule, isn't it? Take one step before you feel ready. Take one step before you feel ready. Because once you've done that, taking the other steps before you feel ready won't feel quite as fear-filled. You will kind of let go of that sense of everything must be lined up, everything must be just so. And don't get me wrong, I think we've talked about this before, that there are some things perhaps where things do need to be polished, things do, but that's not everything. And we apply it to everything, when actually it probably relates to maybe 20% of what we really need to do. The other 80% can be messy, can be playful. Right? Yes.
I love that. Better playful than messy.
Oh, I like messy and playful. I'm good with that now.
Fair enough.
Excellent.
So, what is the second phrase, Yvonne?
The second one is, what if I get it wrong? I've never used that phrase.
Yeah.
What if I get it wrong? Oh my goodness. It's just, you know, that for me, that just unfolds a myriad of things over many, many years. What if I get it wrong? You know, what if I take this job and it's not, and it's the wrong job? What if I, you know, date this person, it's the wrong person? What if the wrongs go on forever and a day? What if I get it wrong? What if you get it wrong? That is the question is, that is the question. What if you get it wrong?
Well, if you get it wrong, you can start over again and try. You can't get it wrong 10,000 times. That's how many times the light bulb was
Yes.
like tried before it became the light bulb, right? So, but so what?
Yeah, but we get caught up on this, and I, for me personally, I feel that some of that comes from our education system, because you're punished, you know, or you feel punished when you get things wrong. If you do a test and you get something wrong, it's like you should know that by now. There's a lot of punishment that I think drives that, and therefore there's a lot of shame that is attached to it. So I kind of feel that I understand how it becomes a thing. But here we are, years outside, and I don't think it should be happening in the school system, let me first of all say, with absolute certainty. But here we are as adults, and we're still dragging that baggage of what that phrase means to us as individuals. And really, it's that fear of criticism, that fear of not being liked, that fear that somebody's gonna, oh, that's not right, this, you know, that's nonsense. Listen, everyone's gonna have an opinion. Everyone's gonna have an opinion. Get used to it. Everybody's gonna have feedback. Get used to it. Everybody's gonna have a perspective. Get used to it. And so, and why would you not want them to? Why would I not want people to? I've got my, you know, I have my perspectives, I have my opinions, I have my criticisms of things. I do my best not to criticize. I try now to be much more curious. That's by choice. That's because I'm choosing it, because I think it's a much more helpful way to approach things. But again, if you don't do what is written inside of you, what your heart is calling you to do, what your everything is kind of pulling you to, you push back because you're afraid of getting it wrong. How will you ever have the joyful, fulfilling life that you deserve to have? There'll always be that piece that's missing because you feared being wrong.
True. And also, it all comes from judgment. You judge yourself first, and then you judge others, and then you judge your circumstances, and there's your loop. And that's what the lies. That's where, you know, like your major saboteur, your judge, tells you that no, you might get it wrong, and if you get it wrong, it might be the end of the world, and oh, everybody's going to have their eyes on you. And the truth is, like, you know, not very many people will remember, because every single one of us is like way more involved with our own lives than others. And even if that happens and you do get it wrong, it's fine, because you can you can choose to use this as a lesson, right? You don't need to consider it as a failure. You can reframe it. There are so many ways to, like, decide what not getting it right means for you. And I will say it again, and I love this, like, words get the meaning that we give them at the end of the day. Situations get the meaning that we give them. So if we want to give them a meaning that is lifting, it's a better meaning than one that puts us down and makes us feel ashamed or fearful or all the other things. So yeah, it doesn't matter if you get it wrong. It doesn't matter if we get it wrong. We can try again.
Absolutely. And I loved what you said, because I think that's such an important piece, is that, you know, every single day we have to make decisions. Every single day we're making decisions, whether we're aware of them or not, we are making decisions. How many decisions throughout the course of your day are labelled right or wrong, or do you label right or wrong? And at the end of it, if you were to go through your day and said, well, I said that and that was wrong, or, you know, whatever it is, it's just like, so what's the lesson? What are you taking away from that? What will help you next time around if that situation or that person or that thing comes up? What might the approach be then? So instead of getting caught up in the wrong, which means it's bad, I think of Shazad every time I say that. bad.
I know.
It immediately pops into my head. You know, instead of going down that road, why not say, okay, you know, I wish that things had worked out a little bit differently. What could I have done differently? And does it even matter? So also going to navigate. Does it even matter? Does it truly matter? Is this a life-changing thing that's happened here? Or am I just making it so huge because it was something that I happened to get wrong? We have to be that discerning as well. Does it even matter? And if it does matter, what am I taking from it? What is the lesson? What's the nugget that will help me moving forward? Because other than the nugget that's going to help you move forward, you can get just stuck in that trap all day, all week, all year long. How is that helpful to yourself or to others around you?
Absolutely. And I really love the way that you are like mentioning, in essence, are, you know, working in Sage. And I know, you know, like using jargon doesn't really help anyone, but what we are saying when we are saying working in Sage means that you are so resourced, really, to decide exactly what something is for you that will be wonderful, not only for yourself, but for others too. And like when you're judging, or when you are in judgment, or you fear judgment, you're becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. You like don't allow yourself to have those options of like when we are discerning. I said I'm talking about all of us. At the end of the day, we can be like really small and really fearful and really like almost in a dead end so often in our lives. But when we're working from that discernment stage, we just open up, and there are so many ways of moving forward, whether it is with curiosity, whether it is with just taking action, whether it is with like a looking in ahead and figuring out whether something is like really important for us this moment or not. There are so many ways. And compassion also, how important that is, to say, okay, you know, I didn't do this perfectly, and maybe I even messed it up as much as I could. I couldn't even mess it up more if I could try, and I have done that. And I'm sure, you know, I probably will do it again and again. That's what growing means. But what is the meaning that we give to that? And will we let this mess keep us like in a state of I don't know, like I keep saying the same things, but it's like keep us in that state of like closeness and
Yes.
not being able to grow? Or will we just use it as soil to let us just get where we want to go? And that is Sage's perspective. I just love that part. So
yes. Yeah, it's so, because it's so powerful, isn't it? Yeah, and I know for myself, and it's always important to me, to just kind of my own experience of it is, I know what it feels like when I think I've got something wrong and I start going down that beat me up route, you know, be that verbally, and whether that's internally verbally or whether it's outwardly verbally, you know, I can almost feel myself shrinking, you know, because then, like, if that's wrong and I did it, you know, how can I possibly do the next thing and the next thing? And before you know it, you're kind of like curled up in this ball of this fraction of who you are here to be. Whereas using and applying that sage perspective is all about opening up. Okay, so that didn't go quite right. That wasn't the result I wanted. That doesn't feel great. What has that taught me about myself? What has that taught me about the situations? What has that even taught me about the people that I'm with or spending? All of this, what is the lesson? Look for that lesson. These are moments of growth. They're not moments for shrinking. We tend to go into shrink because of what we have tied to that language. But actually, they're opportunities. And again, this is very much, you know, positive intelligence language. They're opportunities to ask better questions and actually get better responses so that we can, instead of shrink, expand. Because that's what we're here to do. We're here to expand.
That's it. We are here to expand. I just, as you were talking, I just felt so much how we, you know, even the language that we use, and that's what is important about the words, how some words, even when you say shrink, you can start feeling it in your body, like the contraction that, like, really you can feel it, and we do feel everything in our body. So the moment you start feeling it in your body, you can do something to change it and change that reaction of your body to something that feels better. And we know that this is possible, and it is possible in such short period of time. Like, I'm talking seconds, not even minutes, that you can do that. We have that kind of power in our hands. Yeah. And very rarely we use it. But why? That's the thing. Yeah. Why?
Because we you know, we live in a world that has found a million ways to distract us, a million ways to distract us from the power that we have. And that, for me, is such a crucial thing to remember. We have become, you know, like a global distraction. Just think about and look at and concern yourself and worry and all of this stuff. And I'm not saying that some of those things aren't important, but when we get so caught up in it, we move away from ourselves. We forget who we are. We forget what is possible for us. We forget what we've been gifted with. That becomes the issue. And everything feels like a problem. Everything becomes a problem. And actually, the more connected we've become with ourselves, the more light shines onto the issues, the challenges, the problems, and the more effective we can be at dealing with them. So, you know, I say in my work, I say a lot, like, the body holds everything. So it's like, how much shrinking and wrongness and ineffectiveness do you want to hold in your body? Do you not want to release that? Do you not want to let that go? Do you not want to embody something much more plentiful and abundant and joyful and beautiful and brilliant? I'm sure you do. The part of the work that needs to happen is that you need to come back to yourself. And that's why we're so passionate about the work that we're putting into Permission to Thrive, as well as our individual work. We are passionate about it because we understand this connection back to self is the shift changing. It's the transformation. It's the being able to look out at the things that are happening without taking everything on board as if it's yours to carry. Massively important.
100%. So, if you had a decision to make, or that's something that you're postponing because, oh, what will happen if it goes wrong? Just do it. It's always better to fail fast, if that's what you want to call it, or learn fast. That could be something else, and then move on with the next step. I think that is something. If you want to take something out of this discussion, I think that would be something.
Yeah.
Good.
And if you find yourself kind of like really trapped in that sense of, what if I get it wrong, or you've done something and it was wrong, let's just say, and you feel trapped by that, then speak, talk, ask for support, or even if you just need somebody to listen, find the support that you need. Because the other part of all of this is that we may find ourselves in situations where, oh gosh, I said the wrong thing, or I did the wrong thing, or what if I do it wrong? Or I'm not going to say anything. We lock down where we really need to be connecting. We need the connection. We need to be able to express ourselves. So even if that's the thing that you need to stop you looping and staying in that wrong set, do that. That's another reason why we have the community, right? We don't want anybody to get stuck in the loops, and we will get stuck in loops. Well, when we're surrounded by people who care, we get the opportunities to be kind of, awakened in the nicest possible way, and to shake ourselves out of those states.
100%. I love what Bignall says. It's like once you are aware of things, it's very hard to do something that doesn't serve you. So yes. I think communities help with that, not only the awareness, but like the deep awareness, because yes, you can be intellectually aware of something, but like when you are properly aware of what something does to you that is not serving, you cannot possibly, keep doing it. So.
Yeah. And trust yourself. A little bit of this comes back, trust your ability to choose and adjust accordingly. So trust your ability to choose, because the choice is yours, and then adjust accordingly. Didn't quite figure out, okay, how do I adjust that? How do I tweak it? How do I get more towards where I want it to be? That's all okay. That's all the learning. That for me is true education. Absolutely. I may be biased, but that is for me true education.
No. But also, it's in community, you can be way more resourced because you are surrounded by a lot of talent anyway. And when I'm saying talent, I'm saying just the variety of people that you have in there. That they're not only like-minded people, it's just people that they have various different skills that you can tap in. And I think that is really important in keeping you going. I mean, look at us. I personally, I can say with my hand on my heart that there is no way I would be keeping on what we have been doing all this year and a bit more now. Keep doing it if it wasn't for you. So it shows that together we can do so many more things, and we can show up in such a good way for ourselves and for others. So
yeah,
first of all, thank you. And second of all,
thank you too.
It's fabulous that we can have that and that we can share that.
Absolutely. Well, one of the things that I always love to hashtag is, together we're stronger, because I honestly believe it. I completely believe it. I've seen it. I've experienced it. Yeah, 100%. 100%. So with that, for all that overthinking that you might be doing, what we want to do is cut you loose from all of that. We want to cut you loose from it. It is not a state of thinking that you have to stay in. It's not. And actually, sometimes just realizing that it is not, oh, that's just who I am. No, it's not. It's a state of thinking that you can free yourself from. And at Permission to Thrive, we want to help you to rewrite your story?
Without grind, but with grace.
Yes, absolutely. Set you free, shine your light beautifully and brilliantly into the world. Evie, as always, thank you so much. I wouldn't be here without you either, so we're all good.
Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you. It's been a pleasure always.